the NBA set to make their return in July? It certainly looks like it. What is going on, y'all? Faiz Sports Talk back at it with another video talking, of course, some NBA here to talk about the NBA season potentially returning. So if you're new to the channel, make sure to go ahead and subscribe. The latest and greatest in sports news can be found on this channel. I bring you guys the daily videos. So go ahead and subscribe. And while you're at it, follow me on my social media links down below in the description as always. So I've got a lot of updates here about the NBA's return. All of the things that could potentially come along with it. So I'm going to share those details with you guys, as well as obviously give my opinion on the NBA returning. So first thing is first, the NBA has come out and said in a statement that they are in exploratory talks with Walt Disney World to return there for resuming their season. Okay, so look, I don't want to take credit because, again, the announcement hasn't been made yet, but for the most part, it looks like the NBA is going to return, and they are going to return in July sometime. They're saying late July, but I predicted July would be when they would return. And they're going to use Walt Disney World as the single resort, bubble place that they're going to be having all the teams at, versus having multiple different locations. And it was at most probably going to be two with, Orlando in Disney World and Vegas. But now it looks like Vegas is out of the picture. It's just going to be Disney World. And folks, this is great because, one, obviously we're going to get the NBA back, but more importantly, with Disney World, why it's such a great location is because, one, Florida, obviously as a state, has relaxed their restrictions a lot more than the other states. Okay, so it hasn't been as dire over there as it has been for a lot of the other states. The other thing too, facility-wise, I mean, we're talking about a 220-acre facility, a plot with more than 10 plus basketball courts, just a number of facilities, hotels, rooming, boarding for the players and the, GMs and the executives and the team personnel and everybody to really stay at. So this bubble that we're talking about here, this one area bubble, that's Disney World, and it's the perfect location for it. So I think that gets done absolutely. Okay, so now that is going to get hammered out for sure, that the location is going to be Disney World. So now that we've got that out of the way, what are the next steps? Okay, testing, right? Testing's been the biggest thing here. All players need to have tests before we resume games. And now I believe that obstacle has also been crossed because we've got a lot of testing in this country now. It's ramped up dramatically over the past few months, and there are going to be enough tests now for the players to take pretty much before they play every game or every day, really. And so if the NBA wants to test the players every single day, for safety reasons, they can, because I believe there are enough tests now out there for the NBA. If you look at certain states, they're saying, there's more tests than people right now. And so testing has ramped up. So we've got that obstacle also checked off, okay? So now that we've got the location, we've got the testing complete, now we have to talk about the logistics of the season and how it should resume in terms of, okay, should we have all 30 teams come back and just resume the season wherever they left it off? Should we have a play-in tournament? Should we have single game elimination? How long should the season go? Those are the next questions that need to be answered. And now here's my take on that, okay? The NBA absolutely cannot just jump into the playoffs. There's no way the NBA should do this. There's discussion about that. Apparently a survey was sent out to the GMs about how they would like to resume the season. And it would be a disaster if the NBA just did the playoffs, because these athletes have not had access. I'm talking obviously about the NBA athletes have not had access to facilities this entire time, or a large majority haven't, okay? Because whatever state and jurisdiction they're in, it's been shut down. They haven't been able to access the gym, or they don't have a gym at their own apartment, house, complex, whatever. And so they haven't had an opportunity to work out, okay? I don't care, what you think or how good you think these athletes are. They need some time and practice to be able to get in game shape, okay? And so you can't just expect everybody is in game shape. No, you need a training camp. And in the training camp, you need them to also have the ability to play some regular season games before they jump into the playoffs, because you can't replicate game environment even in practice, okay? And the other thing is, with the difference in the environment, we're talking no fans because we're not going to have any fans in the arena. You're talking about a whole different atmosphere and experience. And so the players will get a chance to see how that is in a couple of regular season games, and then they'll get used to it by the time the playoffs roll around. Now, in the playoffs, if you want to do, from a 7-game series to a 5-game or a 3-game, just because of the time constraints, fine, go right ahead. But you absolutely cannot do single game elimination. There's no chance. There's no way the NBA should do that. And there's no reason the NBA should not play some games before they start the playoffs. So those are my 2 huge stipulations. Other than that, I mean, the NBA needs to obviously try to maybe avoid the NFL season, but if there's no way around it, they have to just finish the season. They have to just finish the season, okay? So I'm fine with that. The only 2 issues I have, like I said again, is there better be some damn games before the playoffs start. And folks, the NBA had already finished 65 out of 82 games before the season got suspended. So it's not that many games left, 10 to 15 at most. Let these teams that are on the bubble, 9, 10 seeds, have a chance to get into the playoffs and give them an opportunity. So all 30 teams should resume in Orlando. All 30 teams should play regular season games. We should have, obviously, the playoffs as we usually do, but we should have, if they want to reduce the number of playoff games in the series, go right ahead and try to obviously avoid the conflict with the NFL and the other sports. But if you can't, you can't. It's fine. So I feel really good. I think the NBA is going to resume. It's going to be in July. They're going to have training camp in June, and they're going to have a regular season starting July, and I believe we're going to have a season. So I'm very excited about that, folks. And for those of you guys out there, that think, there's obviously a huge loss in terms of the economy and people, obviously dying and stuff, and how can we expect sports to be back, folks? Here's the thing, okay? 2 things can be true at once. We can still care about the economy and jobs coming back. And by the way, with the NBA coming back, jobs will come back because it will help people get jobs. And you can also care about, obviously there to be a cure for this virus, for there to be, vaccines out there. We can still care about people, dying and still want sports to return. Both those things don't have to be exclusive. So just putting that out there for those people that are worried that, sports fans are just, selfish. They just want sports back. Not necessarily true. So that's the thing. And I'm very, very happy that there's a chance, dude, we could get the NBA back, the MLB back, the NFL back, and it could be all within playing at the same exact time. So this could be our little reward, if you will, for, being good about the pandemic and going through this entire hurdle of a few months about quarantine. And so hopefully that is the light at the end of the tunnel, that we get to enjoy all our sports all at once. But I'm very confident the NBA is coming back, folks. Get ready, get locked and loaded here, because the NBA is returning. So let me know what you guys think. Leave a comment down below if you agree or disagree with me. As always, thanks for watching.